Imagine a corner of your room where time slows down, where every object whispers stories of forgotten eras, and where the flicker of candlelight dances across shelves of weathered books. That, my friend, is the magic of a dark academia study nook, a place that feels less like furniture and decor, and more like stepping into the pages of a timeless novel. And as we go along, you'll discover why creating such a space isn't just about beauty, but also about finding focus and inspiration that feels. If you've ever dreamed of curling up with a leather-bound book, scribbling thoughts into a journal under the soft glow of a desk lamp, or surrounding yourself with the aura of vintage charm, then this is your invitation to create that very sanctuary right at home. But before we dive in, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on our upcoming videos. Now, let's get started. Understanding the dark academia aesthetic. Before diving into design, it's important to capture the essence of what makes dark academia so alluring. At its heart, it's not just a style of decorating but a lifestyle, a romanticized view of academia, intellectual pursuit, and nostalgia for classical aesthetics. Think Oxford libraries, candlelit studies, Victorian architecture, or the wood-paneled rooms of old universities. This aesthetic blends muted tones like deep browns, forest greens, and rich burgundy, layered with natural textures of wood, leather, and wool. It's about evoking coziness and intellect while paying homage to vintage elegance. Your study nook should inspire curiosity, contemplation, and creativity, an environment where you feel connected to knowledge, art, and history. Choosing the right space. Every great study nook begins with a space. Don't worry if you don't have a sprawling library or a huge room. Dark academia thrives on intimacy. A corner by a window, a small alcove, or even just one dedicated wall can be transformed into your intellectual haven. Natural light is a bonus, especially when it streams in softly through curtains or blinds, casting long dramatic shadows. If windows aren't available, the magic can be replicated with warm-toned lighting. Think soft Edison bulbs, shaded lamps, or candlelight. What matters most is the atmosphere, not the size. The desk, heart of the nook. The desk is the centerpiece of any study nook. To embrace the dark academia style, opt for something vintage or vintage-inspired. A sturdy wooden desk, preferably in mahogany, walnut, or oak, sets the tone perfectly. Scratches, imperfections, and worn edges don't diminish its charm, they enhance it. If you can't find an antique, thrift stores often carry older pieces that can be easily refurbished. Even a simple desk can be elevated with brass handles, dark varnish, or a layer of leather desk pads. The goal is to make the desk feel like it could belong to a professor in the 19th century. Functional but brimming with character. Seating, comfort meets style. The chair is where practicality meets aesthetic. A tufted leather armchair is a classic choice, adding gravitas and comfort in equal measure. However, if space or budget doesn't allow, a sturdy wooden chair with a plush seat cushion works beautifully. For extra coziness, drape a wool blanket or plaid throw over the back. This small detail not only ties in the dark academia color palette, but also provides comfort during late-night study sessions. Shelving and book displays. No dark academia nook is complete without books. Stacks of worn classics, poetry anthologies, and philosophy volumes bring the space to life. Wooden shelves, ideally dark-stained or antique, work best. If shelves aren't possible, stacking books on the desk or the floor in organized piles can be equally charming. The key is variety. Mix hardcovers with paperbacks, add journals, and showcase well-loved spines. Interspersing decorative objects like brass bookends, vintage globes, or small sculptures adds dimension. A bust of a Greek philosopher, an old typewriter, or even a framed letter can transform a simple shelf into a storytelling display. Lighting, the soul of the atmosphere. Lighting defines the mood of your study nook. Instead of harsh white light, opt for warm, golden tones. A banker's lamp with a green glass shade immediately evokes old-world charm, while brass desk lamps add a scholarly elegance. Candles, whether real or flameless, layer a cozy, flickering ambience that feels timeless. Don't underestimate string lights either. If chosen carefully, with warm amber tones instead of bright white, they can mimic the look of firelight or a glowing hearth. The goal is to make the space feel as though it belongs to an older era, where electricity was subtle and soft. Walls and background decor. The walls surrounding your nook set the intellectual stage. Dark paint colors like deep olive, charcoal, or burgundy create a cocoon-like effect. If painting isn't an option, tapestries, vintage maps, or framed botanical prints can bring richness and depth. Framed black and white portraits, antique sketches, or even pressed flowers in old frames add authenticity. A wall lined with art and curiosities makes your nook feel curated, as though you've collected treasures over time. Textiles and layers of comfort. Textiles are essential to bring coziness into your nook. A Persian-style rug under the desk instantly grounds the space, offering both warmth and texture. Wool or tweed throws, heavy curtains, and soft cushions layer in comfort while staying true to the dark academia aesthetic. Think tactile, your nook should invite you to linger. A velvet pillow here, a plaid blanket there, and suddenly the space feels lived in, perfect for quiet reflection. The power of small details. Dark academia thrives on details. A vintage fountain pen resting in an inkwell, a magnifying glass beside a stack of books, or a brass clock softly ticking. All of these objects tell a story. Consider incorporating a candle snuffer, a quill, or even dried flowers in glass jars. These details may seem minor, but they are the finishing touches that make your nook transportive. Each object should feel purposeful, as though it belongs to someone deeply engaged with history and learning. Bringing nature indoors. Though dark academia is often associated with dimly lit rooms, nature plays an important role too. Potted plants like ivy, ferns, or even dried bouquets add life and balance to darker tones. Climbing plants on shelves or trailing ivy down the wall echo the atmosphere of overgrown courtyards and secret gardens. For a truly scholarly look, press flowers or leaves between pages of old books and frame them. This nod to the natural world harmonizes with the intellectual, grounding your nook in both history and life. Personal touches, make it yours. What truly transforms a studied nook into your sanctuary are personal touches. Display your favorite novels, frame your own artwork, or showcase postcards and letters that inspire you. The dark academia aesthetic is about individuality, intellectual passion, and a sense of mystery, so allow your nook to reflect your own story. Maybe it's a candle with a scent that reminds you of old libraries, or a vintage clock that belonged to your grandparents. These small but meaningful objects anchor the nook in your personal history, making it more than just decor. It becomes a part of your narrative. Soundscapes and sensory layers. Although visual design is central, don't ignore the other senses. Music and scent can deepen the atmosphere. A playlist of classical music, jazz, or rain sounds can elevate the experience. Scented candles, incense, or essential oil diffusers with notes of sandalwood, cedar, or tobacco create an olfactory environment that feels like stepping into an old library. The combination of sights, sounds, and scents ensures your nook is more than a space. It's an immersive world. Balancing functionality and beauty. While style matters, your nook should still be practical. Organize stationery in leather-bound holders or vintage jars, keep notebooks neatly stacked, and make sure your chair and desk are ergonomically comfortable. Dark academia celebrates beauty, but it also thrives on functionality. Your nook should inspire productivity, not just admiration. Seasonal changes. One of the joys of dark academia is how easily it shifts with the seasons. In autumn, drape plaid blankets and light pumpkin-scented candles. In winter, emphasize wool textiles and soft lighting. In spring, add fresh flowers or lighter accents, while summer might bring in more natural light with sheer curtains. Why create a dark academia study nook? Beyond aesthetics, having a dedicated space for reflection, reading, or writing is deeply beneficial. It encourages mindfulness, reduces distractions, and helps you associate the nook with focus and creativity. In a world filled with noise and constant stimulation, creating a timeless corner of quiet intellectualism is not just beautiful, it's restorative. If this guide inspired you to transform your own study nook into a haven of vintage charm and scholarly coziness, don't forget to share your journey with us. And for more ideas, inspiration, and explorations into the world of dark academia, make sure you subscribe to the Dark Academia Journal. Step into the world where beauty meets intellect, and let's romanticize the pursuit of knowledge together.